Welcome to GSR Tier 1 Race 6 at USA in Central Texas here at Circuit of the Americas. Today I'm being helped by GSR Chile. GSR Chile, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm doing alright. So we've got 9 minutes 25 seconds around left in qualifying. Currently on the top is GSR Axe with a 130.2, followed by 8 F1 Master with a 130.5, Romley Fungus third, Ricochet fourth, ARL Cobra fifth, and so on and so forth.
Standings going into Circuit of the Americas. Currently leading the championship is GSR Pluto with 83 points. ARL Cobra, second place, 67 points. Brute Corrigan, 53 points, down in P3. P4 is V2 Combat. P5 is Ricochet. P6 is Rumbling Fungus. P7 is Scratty Rat. P8 is Jabolis, however you say his name. P9 is F1X Driver, and P10 is Such J25. So we have a few of those drivers in the lobby here who can be competing for a higher up place in the standings this weekend.
Yeah, and P3 Brute Gorgon in the championship standings is not here today, so that could really change around the points. So currently we have 17 drivers in the lobby. Some guys who you're not used to seeing in Tier 1. Davis 2K7, who we're on board right now, is a Tier 2 driver. He is racing Tier 1 today. GSR Luck I believe he's making his return, if I'm not mistaken. So some of these guys just got done racing Alpha Racing League at Baku, so they're already in league racing spirit. One of them being Atlantis J20, who won Tier 2 today at Baku. So he is looking to maybe get 2 wins today.
Quite possibly could.
So, knowing how Tier 4 it was won by Rowdy TJ Boy. Second was, I believe it was Conducted. Third was Patch VC. A lot of incidents happening in that race. And then Tier 3 earlier today, which I did not get to watch. But a lot of incidents can happen here. So I think we're in for a treat.
Yeah, it's just going to be who can play it consistent throughout the race and not get caught up in any incidents, as we've seen in the other tiers, like you mentioned. We need to see these drivers try to just get through traffic and not try to cause any incidents with each other, or else they're just missing out on key points for the championship.
We've got some guys on their out laps, some guys on their flying laps. One of those guys on the out laps being GSR Pluto, who is currently invalidated on the out lap. Points leader, he's coming into the final corner to start his lap. So I have to ask, what do you think we could see? What do you think we could see today? Seeing the pass with Tier 4 and Tier 3.
I feel like Tier 1 will definitely be not as chaotic, but I feel like there will still be a lot of incidents, especially into turn 1 after the race start. Turn 1 in Circuit of the Americas is really dangerous corner. The angle of the corner itself is what can cause so many accidents, especially going 3 wide up the hill. So I feel like there's going to be definitely some instances into turn 1 and even sector 1 in general through the S section. There's a lot of moments here drivers would run out wide and rejoin and mess other drivers up. And then also they gotta be careful of sector 2 because of that whole bend section that can definitely cause some incidents if drivers aren't careful under braking.
Yeah, that's something we'll keep our eye on. V2 Combat, by the way, went to the top of the board with a 130.1. So he's now at the top. Atlantis, he moved up to P7. Some guys on their laps. GSR Pluto got invalidated.
He's hopping into the pits.
Oh, Davis 2K7 has left. If you could invite him back to the session.
Davis, alright, I will invite him.
Three minutes 30 seconds left here in the session. Everyone either on their current flying laps or are in the pits getting ready to start their final flying lap.
Still a few drivers not yet set times. Elias, Davis, Polo God, Pluto, and Skyjet still haven't set times yet. So we're gonna wait for them to come across the line and set their times. But Scotty, Polo, and Elias are all out on their laps right now, so you can definitely see. Or sorry, I think Polo God is on his out lap. So we can definitely see them set their lap time soon as Scotty Jet's coming out of the final corner here. This might be his lap, and it is. He goes 132.7. Right now, bottom of the order, but he could definitely improve on that time. If he's 1 second off the pace of 12th, he can definitely improve. And here comes Elias coming out of the final corner as well. He goes P11 with a 131.428, just ahead of GSR Luck.
Yeah, V2 Combat, who currently top of the board, did retire from session, so he must be pretty confident in a good starting spot for him. But everyone is, like I said, coming out, making their final laps. We have I believe, is that Ferrari? ARL Cobra. He's getting ready to start his lap. Got some guys on the out laps again. Maybe some guys not wanting to try and make another qualifying effort. What do you think the strategy is for today?
For qualifying, definitely, just try to go out later in the session, definitely, because the track, it has more grip. And definitely try to just make your lap as clean as possible. And if you really want to, which I don't think these drivers are going to opt for, is definitely the starting on the medium strategy, but I don't think anybody is going to be doing that this race, as Tyler isn't that bad around Circuit of the Americas.
Ricochet went to the top with a 130.0. We have, that's the Haas coming off the final corner. That was 8F1 Master. I believe he went to start his lap. We got the Racing Point of, is that Atlantis? That is coming to start his lap.
A lot of drivers.
Yeah, a lot of drivers. That's Kostad coming to start his lap. Behind that, that was Davis coming to start his lap. Arrow Cobra up to P3. the 130.1. Next is the rental of Polo God as Atlantis retires. He's coming to start his lap. So everyone on their flying lap other than that, he just now starts this lap. So
I'm
the
curious.
next
I'm right on board with Pluto right now. Curious to see what he can come across the line with, as he is the championship leader. As he comes around the final two corners.
invalidated. He got validated.
My alerts aren't showing up. And
Next,
GSR Pluto.
Grady Rat, he's gonna be invalidated. That's next behind us. The Haas 8F1 Master. Can he improve? He does, but stays P5. Behind him, the Williams of Jab. He's gonna back off on his lap. Next is, I believe it's the Ferrari of Davis, who is making his first Tier 1 start. Going into the final corner. Where is Davis gonna go? Davis P12. Behind that we have the Fattori Kostak. He's invalidated. He's gonna let off. Behind him, that's the Ferrari Erica, where he's gonna dive down. Axe to the top. GSR Axe with a
Into the
one
29s.
very good lap. I believe that's the end of everyone's. That is so. GSR Axe is going to be on the pole here for Circuit of the Americas with about a 2/10 of a gap for pole. So, knowing that now qualifying is over, if you're outside the top 10, do you go on softs? Do you maybe go to the mediums? Maybe we see someone be sketching on the hards. We don't know. All depending on what they want
It
their
really
race
depends.
strategy.
Exactly. And it depends what the drivers have the pace on. If they have good pace on medium tires, they're going to start on the medium tires and quite possibly try to go for that one stop onto the mediums and try to gain time over the soft runners who might have to make 2 stops in this race.
So that is GSRX to the top. Second is Ricochet. Third, V2. Fourth, Aero Cobra. Fifth, 8-1 Master. Great qualifying position for him. Rumbly Fungus 6th. GSR Luck 7th. Scratty Rat 8th. Atlantis P9. And Kostag running out the top 10. So big names outside the top 10. Jab in 11th. Davis 12th. Polo God 16th. And championship leader GSR Pluto P17.
That was the most surprising thing.
Yeah, that is. Looks like he couldn't get a lap to go down. So we'll see. That's going to play into an interesting strategy. Being the championship leader.
You have to remember as well, this race is on strict corner cutting, and if Pluto is having that trouble getting around here without going off the track, he could get some penalties, which could definitely affect his race as a whole.
That is true. As everyone is putting in their strategies, fixing what they need to. So, as we mentioned earlier, Tier 1 standings. Pluto is in the lead by 16 points over Aero Cobra. And then ARL Cobra has a 14-point lead. Yeah, I was right. 14-point lead to Brute Glorion, who is not here. So, we're gonna pick our favorites. I'm gonna pick my two first, and then I'll let you pick yours. I'm gonna go GSR Axe on the pole position. Um, it was the only driver to get into the 129s. So good luck by him. Maybe if he can get a better start, he can get maybe be in contention for a race win. And I'm gonna go someone outside the top 10. I'm gonna go the Ferrari of Davis 2K7. Um, this is his first Tier 1 race. And he's looking to make a name for himself. He is currently up towards the front in Tier 2 for most of the races. So with Davis, maybe if he can keep it clean, not get so many penalties, he can be in for contention for some points. Who are your two?
So my first pick is going to be ARL Cobra and the Ferrari. I think he definitely has the pace to win this race. He can definitely overtake Combat and Ricochet. It might, like you said, it might be hard for him to get past Axe, but I feel like he has the opportunity to get past Axe and win this whole thing. He's starting in a very good position in P4. My second pick is probably going to be, I'm going to pick GSR Pluto on this one. He's starting on the hard compound of tire. He has shown his pace in Tier 1, and I feel like just because he's starting from P17 does not mean he can't make a charge toward the front of the field to quite possibly compete for a podium here.
Yeah, and GSR Pluto is starting on the hard compound tires. The only driver starting on the hard compound tires. As you see there are the predicted pit stop strategies. One stop, softs to hards, and maybe a two stop. GSR Pluto is starting on the hards, smoking ginger. Maybe the driver starting on the mediums. As we are getting ready to go, the 5 red lights are upon us. They're revving up the engines. And away they go. GSR Axe, great jump off the start. He's going to get in there for 4 wide, farther on back for second. More contact between a racing point. It looks like of Atlantis. Currently GSR Axe pulling away. Ricochet. B2 side by side now with Ricochet. Farther on back. Looks like some more. Looks like we had a wing maybe missing on the racing point of Atlantis. Can't seem to tell. Side by side for the third spot. We've got a yellow flag. Sector 2. I don't know who it is, but side by side for third. Ricochet, Lonely Fungus. Oh, Era Cobra has left the session. And he just ran fast.
It's a game glitch. So fast lap of the race goes to ARL Cobra for the meantime, being with a 2-minute and 13-second lap time. Very good lap from him. He's definitely be in contention for this race as he's dropping down the field. But overall, really good start. There's a little bit of contact through the back there, but overall it's a very clean start. I don't know if we saw, but V2 Combat and Reveille Fungus were fighting for that second position, and that actually allowed GSR Axe to completely pull away from the rest of the pack here, as ARL Cobra sets a 2-second lap time. Absolutely incredible scenes.
I've never seen anything like that.
2-second lap time. That will go down in history as a new track record. So, back to the race though. There was a lot of position movers I mean, the leaderboard is currently glitched right now. But the biggest mover off the start was Polo God. Went from P16 all the way up to P9 in the space of 2 laps. Second biggest mover was Kostak. He went from P10 to P5, and Scotty Jets going from P15 to P4 for our third biggest mover of the race.
GSR Pluto pitted for the medium tires. Looks like he got some damage on that one incident. For the lead, GSR Axe was about an 8 tenths of the lead, now 7 tenths over V2 Combat. They've got us a little bit of a separation. And V2 Combat 3-second time penalty. Already. Along with Jaboli, Jaboli MSU. Track limits are pretty tough here at USA. I know some guys have been complaining in other leagues. Smoking ginger pits. Maybe to repair the lane. Atlantis gets by Elias. So now we got a battle here for P6, Scratty Rat, 8F1 Master, Polo God. Scratty Rat's looking to make the move on 8F1 Master. 8F1 Master's going to fight back on the outside. Scratty Rat's going to get by. Here comes Polo might be lagging, I'm not completely sure. Got by 8F. I have no clue. I don't know what's happening. P12, Elias and Atlantis. Side by side. Atlantis with the switchback. But Elias is going to have the preferred line. Now Atlantis with the preferred line.
As Elias, track extends. Back to what you said earlier about the track limits here. There's so much curbing at Circuit of the Americas that drivers have to look out for here. The curbing is definitely way wider than other tracks, especially through Sector 1. It's really hard to tell what the track limits are, and if you go just one tire off track, you're gonna get a warning, and all those warnings are gonna lead to penalties, which can really affect your race. It definitely, and as I said, at GSR Luck getting a 3-second time penalty, B2 Combat another 3-second time penalty for him, and there's Davis, another 3-second time penalty for probably track extending. So as I talk right now, there is penalties happening here because of these track limits. It's probably the hardest part about this track, as there's yellow flags in Sector 1. I think that is GSR Pluto who spawned.
But as you see here, positions gained. Polo God gained 10 positions, P16 to P6. And then you've got Scotty Jets, who started P15. He's up to P9. You got Kostag, who started P10 up to P5. Scotty Jets gets a 3-second. We got some big losers, and 8F1 Master being one of them. Started P5, now dropped to P16. Arrow Cobra, who started P4, he's down to P13 as Atlantis. Along with Davis. A very interesting start, as we got a battle for Kostag at the penalty. We got a battle for third. Oh, and rather, that's Rumley Fungus off track. That's not going to be anything, I don't think.
Pluto with the time
and
penalty
Ricochet's out
as well. Ricochet's crash. Could be a virtual safety car, possibly.
Doesn't look like anything. Arrow Cobra should have been around Rumble Fungus. So both Rumble Fungus and Ricochet. Ricochet out of the race now. Rumble Fungus P11.
First retirement. Here we GSR Pluto on the medium tires. Trying to make a comeback here in this race. And there goes Atlantis, yeah.
V2 come another, that's 9 VSC. That's 9 seconds so far for V2 combat.
Virtual safety cars out as well
Postag,
for the Atlantis incident.
Postag and Polo God, they're gonna take this VSC. They're gonna make pit stops as long as everyone behind them. Unlucky for GSR Axe and V2 Combat as those two cannot. I don't think the VSC came out. I think it came out after they passed pit or pit lane, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Everyone from third on back. Just gonna. Oh, Polo God drive through, and I think somebody else got one as well.
Now I'm wondering if he was trying to exit out of the pit lane, and he just exited out at the wrong time, and he got caught speeding. You never know.
3 drive-throughs. Kostag picked up 1. Scratty Rat picked up 1, and Polo Guy picked up 1. So that's crucial, as those guys were going to be the first one on pressure tires. And now both of them are going to pit. And Scratty Rat right behind them. So all 3 in a row, 3rd, 4th, and 5th got drive-through penalties. So the first car with pressure tires is Jab back in 6th. So crucial mistakes by Kostag, Polo, and Scratty Rat.
Coming around sector 3 to enter lap number 8 here at Circuit of the Americas. GSR Axe and V2 Combat currently have the race lead, but are yet to pit. Yet again, as you said, 3 drive-through penalties, and I think they're all going to serve him this lap. So that's going to promote Jeb Jaboli all the way up into P3 in this race. So now he is on the podium for Circuit of the Americas. Current fastest lap. The game says it's ARL Cobra, but current fastest lap goes to V2 Combat with a 134.4. But we could see faster laps come on the table now that these drivers are on fresh mediums, which are more fresh than the softs that you can qualify on in the top 10. So we could see fast laps coming in to play.
We got a battle between Scratty Rat. Scratty Rat hit the wall and he's going to be out. Looks like maybe some contact with Friendly Fungus, another VSC. I saw the positions change between Rolling Fungus and him. And when I went to check it, I saw Scratty Rat spinning into the barrier. So this does bring out another VSC. Now this is going to help out GSR Axe and V2 Combat because both of them are going to pit. But they might get out in front of Jab. Now this is the VSC. That came out very lucky for the two. They both go on the medium tires. Maybe they're trying to stretch it. And they're gonna look at the gap they're gonna have on the Williams of Jab. They're coming to pits now. And Polo
with another drive-through penalty.
I think another person got
Scotty with
as well.
Mm-hmm.
V2 Combat.
Yeah, and I'm the race
Axe.
director.
Axe and V2, the top 2, got drive-throughs.
Wow.
Now, if you
And
remember
now things come into play.
the last virtual safety car, and Paul got out. Did he go down? I think he did retire down pit road, pit lane, whatever.
Might have been a rage quit. Unfortunate
Yeah,
for him. 2
very.
draft 3 penalties.
But as I was
But
saying,
GSR acts.
yeah,
And V2 with draft 3 penalty.
and if you remember on the last virtual safety car with Kostag, Bratty Rat, and Polo, as soon as they exited pit road, they got drive-throughs. Same thing happened to Axe and V2 this safety car. And Elias gets around Scotty. But I wonder if that's a glitch or what, because that now is going to hurt GSR Axe and V2. They're not going to serve it this time. So depending on the positions, Jab could be net P1 right now.
Yeah. And I think they opted to stay out here to try to push away from Jabuli because I feel like they are clearly faster compared to lap times. So they're going to try to pull away as much as possible and possibly serve the drive-through penalty on the final lap that they can serve it so that they can try to maximize their P1 and P2 on pit lane. But who knows, there could be another virtual safety car and then that happens to them again. You never know around this track, as there's already been 4 retirements in the space of 9 laps, as Scotty just hits another 3-second time penalty for track extending. Track limits really hurting these drivers here today in Tier 1.
We got a 3-car train farther towards the back. GSR Pluto, Aero Cobra, and Rumbly Fungus. Guys who have all pitted. Pluto, obviously, one of the first ones to pit for the medium compounds. He's probably going to have to pit again. Aero Cobra, who pitted for the hards. Rumbly Fungus pitted for the mediums. So, as a little bit in front of them, Kostag gets around GSR Luck. No moves were to be happening back here. As GSR Axe comes through to serve his drive-through, V2 stays out. Where's Jab going? I think GSR Axe will get out in front of Jab. Jab coming off the final corner now, and GSR Axe exiting pit road. So GSR Axe does get out in front of Jab. V2 Combat net. Well, he's currently P1, but he still has to get his drive-through serves as Rumbly Fungus picks up 3 seconds.
Another track extending.
Rumbly Fungus dives down to the inside of Aero Cobra in turn 1. He's gonna make the move work. So, excuse me, you have to, if a safety car comes out, this could change up everything. You know, depending on when it comes out.
Yeah.
We can get a lane race safety car, everyone most likely will pit for the softs. So,
Well, it depends.
well, yeah, depending on when it, oh! GSR Axes, I was on board with them, got very loose. Had to save the car. Ends up with GSR Pluto getting by GSR Lock for P7.
Up 10 positions.
Yep, GSR Pluto is up 10 positions. Oh, Rumbly Fungus with a late dive, late braking. He should get by GSR Lock if Elias picks up another 3-second time penalty. So V2 Combat comes down, he's going to serve his drive-through. Come out right behind GSR Axe. And these two will continue to battle. As we got a battle for P3 between Elias and Jab.
Elias gets the move.
He is on the medium tires. So right now, let's look at penalties as we stand. So GSRX has 2 warnings plus he drive through. He just served. V2 Combat has 9 seconds of penalties plus the drive through he already served plus 2 more warnings. So he's on the verge of getting a 3-second. Elias has 3 penalties. He's got 9 seconds. Jaboli MSU has 3 seconds. Scotty Jets 9 seconds. Kostag with 3 seconds. Pluto 6 seconds. Rumley Fungus 3 seconds. GSR Luck 3 seconds. And Arrow Cobra only 2 warnings. So out of the top 10, Arrow Cobra is the only person to not have a penalty. So if it comes to safety, safety car, that could really help him.
Yeah, it can definitely defer the end results of the race because we could see GSR Axe V2 Combat absolutely dominate the race as GSR Pluto picks up another time penalty. We can see GSR Axe and V2.
Rumbly Fungus. Sorry to interrupt you, but GSR Pluto and Rumbly Fungus were beating and banging for a while now, and it finally sent Rumbly Fungus around. Didn't pick up any damage, so that's good. But
Jaboli 3 second.
Jab 3 second, and GSR Axe.
Another 3 second. But yeah, back to what I was saying earlier for the if a safety car does come out toward the end of the race and the field's all bunched up, the people with the less penalties, they could seek for a podium here. GSR Axe V2 Combat, they can dominate the whole race all they want, but when it comes down to it at the end of the race, they might lose this because of penalties, and that's where you got to be careful around Circuit of the Americas. There's just track limits, which these drivers are. I think they're trying to be cautious, but they're just getting to the best of them. As there's a yellow flag in Sector 3. Looks like it's cleared away though. Might have been the leaders.
As Aero Cobra looking to try and get past the Alfa Romeo. Oh, Aero Cobra gets a little bit sideways. Smoking Ginger picks up a 3 second. Him and Davis 2K7 are battling 4P11 side by side. Smoking Ginger trying to get nose out ahead. Here comes Davis back around the outside. He's got the preferred lane. This is exactly what Rumley Fungus and GSR Pluto have contact. Davis will go around. Smoking Ginger is going to have the DRS. Scotty Jets picks up a 3 second. So currently, gap for the race lead.
And Rumbly Fungus.
Rumbly Fungus picked up another one as well. Currently for the race lead, you got a 6/10 of a gap between GSR Axe and V2 Combat. V2 SDRS gaining. Didn't thought about making the move. As GSR Luck and Davis both picked up another 3 second. A lot of 3 seconds being handed out. As I said, AF Master picked up one as well. But a lot of 3 seconds getting handed out this race so far. And we still got over half the race to go.
Just coming to the halfway point, actually, of this race. Coming on to lap number 14 as the leaders come out of the final corner. Already 50% done with the race and so many penalties. So, what are you expecting as we come back to the? What are you expecting to happen in the second half of this race?
Well, maybe the same as the could be same as the first half of the race. As GSR Luck dives down to the pits, he lost some wing damage after contact with Aero Cobra. But maybe V2 Combat. That's another 3 second. I believe that's 12 seconds now. V2 Combat.
That's going to definitely affect his finishing position here in this race. 12 seconds is a big deal.
Battle for P10 between Davis and Smoking Ginger. Davis gets back around Smoking Ginger. He's going to hold on. 10th place. There's got a battle. Looks like for P3 between Elias and Jab. Elias on 7-lap old mediums. Jab on 7-lap old hards.
Yeah. Rumbly Fungus, 3 seconds again. So many penalties.
You have to remember, like we said earlier, there is this late race safety car. We don't know what could happen with all the penalties.
Yeah, definitely. When the field bunches up, it's gonna be a mess.
GSR Pluto comes down. I think this should be his final stop of the race. He's going to change his wing, put on fresh mediums. He will go to the end of the race. Davis will get past him, it looks like. Does the battle for P7 between Aero Cobra and Rumbly Fungus. Aero Cobra, I believe, still only has 2 warnings, so maybe he can try and get some guys off the penalties. Let's see. For the lead, Cap is chopped. V2 Combat's chopped up the lead. It was 4 tenths. Around 4 or 5 tenths. Down into the final corner. He'll have DRS. Will he activate overtake? He does. Is he going to look for a late move? I think he's too far back to make the move. As Davis gets passed by 8F1 Master. And GSR Pluto is right behind this battle as well.
Lap 16.
Lap 16 out of 28. Limited contact between Aero Cobra and Rumbly Fungus. Rumbly Fungus really trying to get by Aero Cobra here. Rumbly Fungus.
Rumbly with a 3 second. Yeah. Track limits. If we check on Rumbly Fungus's penalties here, he has 1, 2, 3. He has 12 seconds worth of time penalties here. He's definitely racking up the penalties as he got 3 warnings on lap 14, which was not long ago. Basically, but yeah, the penalties are really racking in here. This is probably the most penalties I've ever seen commentating GSR for season number 4. Is probably the most I have ever seen from a race. But that just shows you the nature of Circuit of the Americas, of how deadly the track limits are here.
While we were talking about him, goes around. Safety car! Question is, do you come down, do you pit for fresh mediums? Do you try and risk it for softs? You're GSR Pluto, you just came down. You're already on
Scotty and Kostak pit.
They do pit along with Aero Cobra. Scotty Jet's gonna go to the softs. Kostak will go to the mediums. And Aero Cobra will go to the mediums as well. Only Fungus, 5 seconds for speeding in the pit lane, and he retires.
He's rage quitted. He's done. He has 17 seconds worth of penalties.
Buddha does stay out. Davis comes in. Smoking Ginger comes in. GSR comes in. So the top four did not pit under safety car. So if you're Scotty Jets and Kostag Cobra, you just now pitted. Maybe why not waste your tires? Go try and push, depending off of penalties. So. So lap 17 out of 28, safety car race just came out for, I don't know what, I think it was just because of Rolling Fungus to spin.
Yeah. Which surprises me. There's been a lot of worse incidents this race, and there has been a safety car out, which definitely surprises me. And I bet it surprises all the drivers here. We've had 2 virtual safety cars. We haven't had an actual safety car yet. But this safety car changes everything. GSR Axe, V2 Combat, they thought they were dominating this race, but that's not going to be the case anymore, as V2 Combat and GSR Axe both come into the pits. V2 Combat actually opting for the soft compound of tires, so he's definitely going for a risk here, as GSR Axe is going a little bit more conservative on the mediums.
Elias and Jab as well comes down and out for the mediums. Yeah, G and ARL or an Alpha Racing League of Tier 2 and Tier 3 today. There were a lot of, incidents that you could say deserved a safety car. And it was either a virtual or there was nothing at all. So, and earlier in this race, there were some incidents that you could definitely say could have had a safety car, but it had a virtual or nothing. So, very interesting.
Yeah, indeed. Very, very interesting, as the drivers are starting to form up behind the safety car queue. But yeah, drivers probably checking the penalties. There's a few AI ghosts probably checking penalties behind them, just to make sure where they are in the field. But up on the front here, I feel like V2 Combat has just thrown away his race here, and the reason for that is because I do not think these soft tires are going to last 10 laps. Well, they will last, but they're going to be very, very worn come lap 26, 27, 28. And all these drivers on medium compound, their tires are still going to be pretty half decent. So I feel like they could definitely overtake V2 Combat come later laps of the race. But he will have the pace after the safety car restarts to probably overtake GSR Axe.
Yeah, the soft compound tires is a very risky move, but the safety car does help them. Not to push their tires, try and save their tires until they can get off the safety car restart. As safety car does not come in this lap, I believe it'll come in next lap. As we still got some guys catching up. Davis, who in his first start is P10, so he's avoided the carnage and so far currently running in a points position in his first ever Tier 1 race. GSR Luck in P11, who had pit a couple laps before the safety car. He's right back into this, as well as Smoking Ginger.
Yeah.
As we did say,
V2
Combat did pit for the softs, as well as Scotty Jets, 8F1 Master, and GSR Lot.
But back to what you were saying about Davis, he is in the points, but he's only out of 12 runners here. But overall, it's still a good performance nonetheless to avoid all the carnage that ensued with collisions and stuff. Now I want to take a look here at Davis's penalties. He's not doing too bad. He only has 2 time penalties, which is 6 seconds, which is significantly less than some of these other drivers have. So I feel like Davis can definitely gain some positions through the end race results when everybody penalties gets added up. So I feel like Davis can definitely make a push here for maybe P7 in his first Tier 1 start.
As we said that Davis got a 5-second collision with luck. That looks like maybe luck hit him from behind. Maybe
yeah.
he'll submit a ticket or something. A safety car does come in this lap.
Review.
V2 Combat, 5-second collision with GSR Axe. So
I believe he's on 22 seconds.
That is crazy. So safety car is coming in this time. GSR Axe backing up the field. When does GSR Axe go? Can he get a better start? Then V2 Combat and try and pull away from V2, who is on soft tires. Safety car does come in and GSR Axe goes.
But right away. Definitely threw V2 Combat off. As he was still trying to warm up his tires. I don't know if you saw that. He was still wiggling from side to side there. GSR Axe just completely took off, and that allowed him to get a very good start off the safety car restart as we come on to lap number 20 here at Circuit of the Americas.
P5 side by side between Kostag and Scotty Jet. V2 another 3 seconds. He might get record. He might be trying to go for the wrong record. He might be trying to get record of most penalties in a race.
Yeah. Be interesting to see. Some GSR fun facts right there. V2 Combat, the most time penalties ever. That'd be very interesting. But he's probably on the pace to do so though. He has so much time penalties. I believe somewhere around over 20 seconds worth of time penalties, which could definitely jump him back to the field. Probably not even to points if there's either one, another safety car, or two, the field is still close together like it is currently.
8F1 Master Aero Cobra work side by side along with GSR Pluto. 8F1 Master gets by Aero Cobra. Behind Aero Cobra is his teammate for this race, Davis 2K7. 8F1 Master.
Aid with a.
We got a nice little DRS train. However, Elias is out of the DRS of V2 Combat. So you've got V2 and Axe in their own little train. But then you've got 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th. All within the DRS train once DRS gets activated. So, very interesting to see what happens. This GSR Luck is on board with him, just another 3-second time penalty. Jab gets one as well. GSR Pluto gets another 3-second. A lot of penalties being handed out. Real quick, let's check penalties. GSR Axe, 3 seconds. V2, good lord. 3, 9, 12, 15, plus a 5 seconds. 20 seconds in penalties for V2. Elias, 9 seconds. Jab, I believe 9 seconds is Jab 9 seconds as well. Kostag, 3 seconds. Scotty Jets, 12 seconds. Pluto, 9 seconds. 8F1 Master, 6 seconds. Aero Cobra, still with no penalty. That's crucial. Davis, 2K7. Got 11 seconds of penalties, but he might try and get the 5-second removed. And it's Smoke and Ginger with 3 seconds. And then GSR Luck with 9 seconds.
GSR Axe and V2 Combat. As V2 Combat gets another track extending penalty, as I even saw him corner cut the corner a little bit. They are pulling away from the rest of the field, but I don't think it's going to even matter. I don't know about you, Victor, but I do not think them pulling away, especially for V2 Combat, is even going to matter, because he has so much time penalties that it's just he's gonna get sent back to the back of the field. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, with many penalties he has. Now, if this DRS train behind him could, potentially catch up, V2 Combat, as he dives down to the inside of GSR Axe for the lead, he will hold on. But he could drop so far, maybe outside the points, maybe. With the amount of penalties he has, so crazy.
Yeah. Davis with 3 seconds as well. Yeah. Currently running P11 as he gets overtaken by Smoking Ginger.
P2 on another 3 seconds. I've lost count after 20. I don't know.
Never in the history can we count this high in terms of time penalties. It's so high.
At lap 3, oh my god. Lap 23 out of 28. V2 Combat, your current leader, but keep in mind, penalties will come into play. Scotty Jets took for 3 seconds. V2 Combat with about a 9/10 of a gap, with second lead over GSR Act. And you have currently Jab P3. They get passed by Elias. Following on back, Kostag 5th, 8F1 Master. Currently in 6th. They've got this DRS train. Aero Cobras. GSR Pluto 7th, Aero Cobra 8th. Scotty Jets 9th. And then Davis is outside of the DRS train. He is currently P10. As Smoking Ginger is going to look to the inside of Davis. As Kostag gets past Elias, with some contact, Elias runs into the back of Kostag. Lock up from Elias, but he's going to have DRS. And he will activate the overtake button. Be enough for a move. He's going to look to the inside of Kostag. And he's going to run wide. Kostag with the crossback. He's going to not clear yet. Still side by side. Elias gets past Kostag. Gap for the lead, 1.1. V2 another.
That's another penalty. Man, I can't count this high anymore, Thrasher. I can't count this high.
Let's count 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 20, 26, 29 seconds for V2 Combat.
Yeah. Big boy numbers right there. I don't think I've ever seen this in an online race before.
Elias, side by side, 4, P4. Kostag, if he can get by Elias here, based off the penalties, he could potentially get podium, maybe a P2, P3, with V2 Combat's penalties. GSR Elias fell back a little bit. 8F1 Master got by him. GSR Pluto did as well. Next by him is Aero Cobra. GSR Pluto puts him in 3 seconds. So, championship leader, currently running P6 as Davis puts for 3 seconds. Currently running P6, however, he could maybe lose some spots or gain spots off of penalties. We just don't know yet. 4 laps to go here at second because Davis and Smoking Ginger battling. Currently, fastest lap goes to GSR app. No, sorry, it's V2 Combat. Sorry, with a 1:32.8. Technically, it's Aero Cobra with a blazing 2-second lap. But that's a good show. It's going to be V2 Combat excuse me, was a 1:32.8. So continue to have this Lord, I can't talk today. DRS train. 8 F1 Master, Kostag, Pluto, Elias, Aero Cobra, Scotty Jets. Lincoln Jr. Davis continue to battle. Three laps to go. Elias and Scotty pick up 3 seconds again. V2 Combat with a 1.7 gap over GSR Ads. As we got a yellow flag, sector 3. I don't know. Oh, I think that was Smoking Ginger and Davis. They both might have made contact because GSR Luck, who was behind them, got past both of them. So interesting. Davis picks up another 3 seconds. So, Joey,
He's adding on.
we're coming towards the end of the race here. Well, actually, we are towards the end of the race. 3 laps to go, coming to 2 laps this time. But with all these penalties, this could add up to be a great finish off of penalties.
Yeah. The penalties are going to be a huge factor in this. A lot of drivers are going to jump. So this leaderboard currently that we are seeing with 2 laps to go in this race, this top 12 that we have is going to be completely different at the race results. It's just going to be completely different as we look at our gap to the leader here. Currently with V2's time penalties, he's last. He's dead last in this race. Davis is 28 seconds out, but V2 is slower, but he's gonna be finishing. He could finish outside the points, depending if GSR Luck picks up the pace here as Kostag picks up a 3-second time penalty as well. That's gonna add on to the end of his race.
As we are 2 laps to go, D2 Combat, GSR Axe, those two have been on front all day after starting top 2. On track, they look like to finish top 2. With 8 F1 Master and Jab battling for what is podium on track. Behind them, GSR Pluto gets by Kostag. You got Elias and Aero Cobra. Davis and Smoking Ginger, 4P11, continue to battle. As it is now white flag in the air, V2 Combat. Been up front most of the race. Has gotten a lot of penalties. We'll see where he drops due to post-race penalties. Or not post-race penalties, but penalties on track. We got a yellow flag in turn 1. It's the McLaren of Elias. He lost the spot to Aero Cobra. Might lose one to Scotty Jets as well. But V2 Combat.
Yeah.
9 lap softs after the late safety car restart. GSR Axe, who decided to go for the mediums, 1.5 back. Then they've got a measurable gap to 8 F1 Master and more cars behind them. So all deciding on post-race penalties. V2
As we
Combat.
come as if you look in the back here, Sky just picks up a 3-second time penalty for track extending.
V2
Nothing new. Everybody
V2
knows this now.
V2 Combat off the final corner is going to win the race on track. Here's
And he gets a
GSR
5-second
Axis
penalty.
going to take the race win off of penalties. V2 currently P2. Well, he does. Oh, look.
Oh, he's
Postag
dropping.
P2. Well, that's a timing glitch. But GSR Axe is going to be take P1, Kostag P2, 8 F1 Master P3. I say we invite those three to the party. We need to get 8 F1 Master and Kostag. Hopefully we'll get those three in here for some post-race interviews. Interesting race to say the least, though.
Yeah. As there is GSRX.
GSRX has joined the party. I'm gonna invite Kostag. He's on Do Not Disturb. And invite 8F1 Master as well. Wait for. There's 8F1 Master. Now wait on Kostag to join the party.
Oh my, look at the penalties. Just
V2 Combat, after winning the race on track, drops to P7.
What a race, guys. What a race.
7. What an interesting race. We got the current podium in the party. We'll start with GSR Axe. Make sure your audio is included.
Yes,
So,
sir.
Axe, you got, if I was correct, I believe you got P2. No, you got pole, right?
Yeah, I got pole.
Remember. Yeah, you did get pole. You got a great jump off the start. Pretty much you and V2 Combat up front all race. How are you feeling after your win?
Feels good. Finally, it took a while. I've had a bad season to start, so glad I could come home track and get her done. But it was just me and V2 really most of the race. No one else seemed to be able to get to us and stick with us. But around like the lap 9-10 mark, I had checked V2's penalties because he was pressuring me the whole time. It was just us two. And he had 9 seconds of penalties at that point, and I was like, oh, okay. So it kind of helped me cool out, and it just, I don't know, it just made my head feel a lot better, and I was able to drive it home. That safety car came out, I was kind of hoping it didn't, but it didn't matter in the end. GG to V2 as well, and obviously my teammate getting a double, I think that was a 1-2 for AlphaTauri. That's good.
It was one.
I cover it with this timing glitch, but I'll take that. Yeah, I did win. So next week's Monaco. Looking forward to it. Hopefully we don't pop a tire off on a wall. So should be good.
Great race. Chili, do you have any questions for the race winner?
So I was wondering, Axe, from your perspective here, I just wanted to know what was going through your head as I don't know. Did you at some point in this race look at V2 Combat's penalties?
Yeah, as I said, it was like around lap 10. I checked it with the driver behind thing, and Jeff said he had 9 seconds penalties, and I was just like, it just made it so much better. Made me drive a lot calmer. So I just knew I had to stick with him if he ever got by me. He did in the end, and he drove away, which is good for him. But the penalties really, they were big today. So
Yeah. Now at the end of the race, you clearly won the race. I'm not even sure if this was a record or not, but he had so much time penalties. How did you feel? And if there was any other moments later in the race, you checked for penalties. Did you feel relieved when
yeah,
he got all those penalties?
yeah, I was relieved because if he didn't have all those penalties, I didn't think I was gonna be able to keep him behind because he had the softs at the end. So uh, it's just it feels good to win. It's been a while since I've won a competitive race, so I'll gladly take whatever I get, especially off penalties. I mean, it's not the best way to win, but it's a way to win nonetheless. So I'll take it.
Well, great job on your race win today, GSRX.
Thank
Especially
you.
at your hometown track. Co-Stag. Make sure your audio is included.
It is. It is.
P2 today. Obviously not P1, what everyone wants, but P2 today. AlphaTauri 1-2. How are you feeling?
I mean, it's a relief. If you watched any of the previous races, I've been super unlucky, especially in Zandvoort, running in people and then getting taken out. Whatever. We're not going to talk about that, but I'll gladly give up the win every day to my teammate as long as we get the big dub for AlphaTauri. It's always good to see that, I guess. It was hard. It was hard. Starting from P10, I had a really bad qualifying. Up into P, I think 6 or 7 by lap 2, and then just put the head down and try to make the best of every situation, I guess.
Yeah. Now, when the late race, well, somewhat late race safety car came out, you pitted for medium tires, and at that point, did you look at penalties and wondering, I can really gain a podium off of penalties?
Yeah. When I came into the pits, I had what's his name? I think Scotty Jets in front of me, and he went onto the softs. So I thought, wait, he's on the softs. I might not be able to get him if his tires last. So I just paused and checked out everybody's penalties, and I see everybody having like 9, 6, even 12 seconds worth of penalties in the case of Pluto, and I'm like, wait, we could be on for something here. And if I had kept that, if I had kept it clean and just kept my 3 seconds that I got off the start, I think it would have been a much easier podium. Because I was sweating when Pluto went by. We had a bit of a moment there, and I kind of just ran wide, and I got my second penalty, and I was just sweating so badly right there. But yeah, I did believe something was going to come out of the penalty situation.
Well, congrats on your P2. Chili, do you have any questions for Co-Stag?
I don't. It was just a good race overall from you.
Yep, thank you very much,
Great
guys.
podium.
Have a good one.
You too. 8F1 Master. P3. Make sure your audio is included. Come home
Yep.
P3. After I started, P5, lost a bunch of positions towards the beginning of the race, and gained them all back. How are you feeling?
Well, at the start, it just felt as though everything could go wrong, whether it be my collision with Kostag, my collision with Pluto, and literally all the pit stops I had to make. And I was just praying that there was going to be a safety car at the end of the race. And lucky there was. If there wasn't, then definitely wouldn't have been within a shot of a podium today.
Yeah, obviously penalties were a big factor today, as you did get P3 off of penalties. At any point, did you think that you could have had a potential shot at a podium with penalties?
It was when I heard that just how many penalties V2 was going to get, and also the fact I pitted onto softs under safety car made me confident the fact I could gain back all those positions.
Well, congratulations on your P3 podium finish. Chili, do you have any questions for Aid?
I do not.
Well, good race, Aid F1 Master. Congrats on the podium. That's gonna do it here for us. Very interesting race off of penalties. Obviously V2 Combat with 29 seconds of penalties. One on track, but fell all the way to P7. GSR Axe did end up winning today off of penalties. What's your final thoughts on the race today?
It was a very entertaining race. A lot of incidents. Just a lot of penalties. Really. The track limits here definitely got the best of these drivers. And yeah, the drivers who stayed on track limits definitely benefited more than drivers, just like V2 Combat, who didn't stay on the track limits and had the corner cut, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, that is going to do it here for us at Circuit of the Americas. Hope you enjoyed watching. Tomorrow is Tier 2 at Circuit of the Americas. I think both of us will be racing. You'll see both of us
Yes.
in action there tomorrow. Tier 1 next week at Monaco, same time, Saturday, 4 o'clock Eastern. Oh, sorry for the bullshit. 4 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Britain time. Thank you, everybody, and have a good night.